what stage of development the three are going through right now?
Well, remember, they're only 1 year out of those 1984 games. And after 1 year, you should just be coming along, maybe from the 4th to the 6th round class. These guys are already approaching that world-class status. These guys are talented fighters. The three you're seeing here today, I'd say 1 year from now, all of them could possibly fight for world championships.
Well, tonight is a very special night for one of the three, Evander Holyfield, who will be fighting as a professional for the first time right here in his hometown of Atlanta, Georgia.
And he told me he feels some pressure on him, but he enjoys the pressure. Hey, he knows all about that pressure from the Olympics, and he's really excited about what is in front of him tonight. Now, here you see Evander Holyfield in the blue trunks going up against a very tough Mark Rivera a number of months ago. Rivera, a physically strong fighter, but there was no way he could hold Holyfield off of him. Holyfield, just an exciting light heavyweight. I'd have to call him, the word for him is relentless. The bell rings, and he starts throwing punches, and kind of like Joe Frazier did, he would just wear you out with an accumulation of blows. The man is a future light heavyweight champion.
He has had 5 professional fights. He has won 5 professional fights. Evander Holyfield in his hometown of Atlanta tonight. Also this evening, you'll be seeing perhaps the most exciting fighter coming out of the Olympics.
And his name is Pernell Whitaker. Mr. P, the man, I liken him to Hector Macho Camacho, the new lightweight champion of the world. And like Camacho, Pernell is a southpaw. He's got very, very fast hands. This kid right now, I would put him in against any lightweight in the world. He's that good.
5-0 is his record. Pernell Whitaker, 4 knockouts. Tyrell Biggs, a super heavyweight gold in the Olympics. His drug-related problems now behind him. He has knocked out his last 3 opponents on the way to a 4-0 record.
And here you see him pummeling one of those 4 opponents. His name is Mike Perkins in the blue trunks, just taking a beating. And here, Biggs doesn't even look all that good. Since then, he's been shortening his punches. His jab is Larry Holmes-like. He's almost 6'5". The man, I think, if he keeps his head together, is a future heavyweight king.
Tyrell Biggs with a record of 4-0 in his last 3 fights, all by the KO route. So those are the 3 stars from the 1984 Olympic team you'll be seeing tonight. And Randy, when you take a look at these stars, at this stage also of their development, you know their opponents are picked very carefully. How would you rate their competition tonight?
Well, there's no question that I'd have to say that the opponents tonight, that's exactly what they are, opponents. These are guys who are going to come in there and test the guys. I'd have to give the opponents tonight about as much chance to beat these very talented fighters as if they entered the New York State Lottery. They have very little chance to win.
All right, it is Whitaker, Biggs, and Holyfield, all coming up next in that order right here on USA's Friday Night Boxing from the Omni in Atlanta, Georgia.
Last year, history's biggest run took place, the 5-mile Stroh's Run for Liberty. This year's run will be even bigger. It's in 127 cities, and it's sponsored by Stroh's, with support from the Plymouth Division of Chrysler. Your entry fee will help restore the statue. And even if you walk, you'll get a medal cast from materials used to build her a century ago. Enter at participating Chrysler Plymouth dealers or wherever you buy Stroh's. Then join us for her sake.
Watching you walk away, nothing left to say. Wearing your 501 blues on a rainy day. I must admit, this shrink has been so much better than you and I. Bye-bye, Levi's button fly, 501 blues, and you.
I got bad news for this guy. He needs a complete transmission job. About $600. This is a Fram transmission filter. Just a few dollars. Now, if you take care of your car right, including changing your transmission fluid and putting in a new Fram transmission filter when you should, you may never be faced with this kind of problem. But the choice is yours. You can pay me now or pay me later.
You know, when I started dipping Kodiak, made my friend here real happy because it's his brand. Now it's my brand, too. Good and moist with a special cut that packs right. And it's got a big, fresh wintergreen flavor. But don't take my word for it. Just ask my friend here. He really got away with words. don't he?
We will open with Sweet Pea, Pernell Whitaker, going up against Teddy Hatfield. Let us now go to one of the ring announcers tonight, Dean of Atlanta Sportscasters. He's been on the air here in Atlanta for 30 years. Let's go to Chico Renfro.
Ladies and gentlemen, your next bout of the evening is the first of 3 main events featuring the champion in the making. An 8-round lightweight bout in the red corner with a record of 17 wins, 7 by knockout with 11 losses, weighing 140 and 1/4 pounds, wearing blue trunks with a gold stripe, from Nashville, Tennessee, Teddy Hatfield. Consecutive victories, 4 by knockout, since turning professional, wearing green trunks with the gold stripe, from Norfolk, Virginia, the United States lightweight gold medalist, Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker.
Give me another one. I don't have to go over with it. Give me a good clean fight, good break, buck your head, no vote, and when you know I'm in the ring. That's all I'm gonna say. Check in out. No thing they count, right, baby? No thing they count.
The referee, Al Pruitt. We are ready to go. This is a scheduled 8-rounder. Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker in the green trunks. He won the Olympic gold with a second-round TKO over Luis Ortiz of Puerto Rico. And Whitaker, the only boxer to win the gold by a knockout. Just 21 years of age and a record of 5-0 in the 5 fights in a span of 7 months. So he is getting his professional experience very quickly. His last fight a month ago in his hometown of Norfolk, Virginia, when he put down a highly regarded John Senegal in 2 rounds. Senegal, who came into that fight with a record of 22-1-1. And tonight, Whitaker goes up against, I guess you'd call Teddy Hatfield a young journeyman. He's just 23 years old already. This is his 30th fight. And he has a record of 17-11-1. A former kickboxer who was once ranked in that sport. And now we're going to boxing style. 17-11-1 is Teddy Hatfield. Very aggressive fighter. And that very much to the liking of Pernell Whitaker, who has great hand and foot speed, just lightning quick, and especially with that right jab.
I liken him to Hector Macho Camacho, the formerly, now present lightweight champion of the world. You saw him a few weeks ago destroy Jose Luis Ramirez, just about shutting him out over 12 rounds. Pernell Whitaker, he's a hot dog. It's just not enough mustard when he climbs in the ring.
5 fights, 5 wins, 4 by KO. We'll take a look back at his amateur career. He began boxing at the age of 9. Had 214 amateur fights. Won 201 of them. Incredibly, in the amateurs, 91 by knockout. As Whitaker steps in, weighing 140.5 pounds at 5'5.5". Hatfield 140.25, and he is 5'7". Here's a sharp left by Whitaker as Hatfield wide open. And now Hatfield charging, and Whitaker quickly gets out of the way.
One of the greatest Cuban fighters of all time, Angel Herrera, beat Pernell Whitaker back in 1981 and then fought him 4 more times after that. Whitaker beat him every time.
And you notice how 2 quick right jabs by Whitaker has Hatfield keeping his distance. You are seeing the blinding speed by Whitaker here in the first round, just chopping up the face of Hatfield. And he has this crowd here at the Omni oohing and eyeing with his tremendous speed.
And so far, Al, he hasn't even turned on the burners yet. He's just playing.
pause now for these words from our local cable systems.
Oh, sunny child of yesterday, the dreams may fade, the memories stay. This is the way Bill Milburn sketches your memories to come. First, he shapes a fresh lifestyle. Then he handpicks the best financing. But the best part is, he fills his homes with treasures. Glass-walled dining rooms, windowed bedroom alcoves, and a Milburn only increases in value. Isn't it time you owned a Milburn?
When Domino's Pizza delivers, people come to their senses. A scent teaser, an office pleaser.
Number 2, Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker loosening up against Teddy Hatfield in the first round. And I guess you would categorize that round as research for Whitaker.
He just wanted to see what Teddy Hatfield had. Teddy was mouthing off a bit at the weigh-in today saying, Sweet Pea, I'm going to test your heart tonight.
Well, Hatfield extremely aggressive, lives by the sword, and he dies by the sword. 11 victories, 11 defeats.
Some of the guys Hatfield has climbed in there with world-class fighters, including Livingstone Bramble.
And what happened against Bramble?
He actually went 7 rounds with Bramble before Bramble chopped him up and stopped him, but he was still on his feet.
Hatfield now out of Nashville, Tennessee, and Whitaker from Norfolk, Virginia.
And a trickle of blood now, left nostril of Teddy Hatfield.
Whitaker going the distance just once, 6 rounds against Nick Parker back in April. 4 other fights ending in KO. 2 in the second round, 2 in the fourth round. And we are in the second round right now. And Hatfield's face becoming a bloodied mess. And it is Whitaker just poking away, and there nonchalantly keeping his distance, setting his stance, snapping the right and snapping the head of Hatfield back. Double, tripled up on the jab, it appeared, so quickly might have gotten that third one in there. And there's Whitaker showing his defense, getting away from Hatfield, and he gets the crowd on their feet with that maneuver.
And that's one of those maneuvers that just turns the crowds on, and that's one of the reasons this young man is becoming one of the most popular fighters in the world today. Hatfield has to try to get close. From the outside, both guys have 25.5-inch Randy's reach. That's very short. You take those jabbing arms, 25.5 from chin to middle knuckle. But the speed of Whitaker shows.
Hatfield taking his shots at Whitaker, but by the time the glove gets there, Whitaker had been gone. That's the first time that Hatfield connected with the left to the side of the face of Whitaker. The Olympic caravan going on from city to city, the hometowns of all the stars from the 1984 boxing team. And last month it was in Norfolk, Virginia, Pernell Whitaker's hometown. And tonight here in Atlanta, the hometown of Evander Holyfield, who you'll see coming up shortly. Final seconds of round number 2. Goes down. On our clock, Randy, we had this round being over 5 seconds ago, but no bell. Now the bell sounds as Lou Duva quickly comes into the ring complaining to referee Al Pruitt that the round was over. And we had the round at least 6 seconds too long when Whitaker went down.
The great outdoors. We've got plenty of it here in Maine. One man, L.L. Bean, took our love of it and created some of the finest outdoor products. Clothing and footwear, durable enough for wilderness, yet attractive enough for town. In service, he'd send you a missing button 20 years later. And It's all in a catalog we'll send you free. Just call 1-800-228-1200 LL Bean for quality you might have thought long gone.
On the next Saturday Nightmares, David McCallum falls under the spell of a mysterious heirloom in the Corvini inheritance. And Deborah Raffin gets tuned out by her jealous husband in Last Video and Testament. Then, on Night Flight, Alan Freed is the DJ for Tuesday Wells Prom.
All right, let's get this prom rocking.
In the 50s classic, Rock, Rock, Rock. It all starts at 8 p.m. Eastern on USA tomorrow.
Round number 3. Pernell Whitaker shakes off that low blow from Teddy Hatfield at the end of round number 2, and now it is Hatfield trying some bullying tactics, and Whitaker just shakes it off.
Well, I got to give Hatfield credit. He told me at the weigh-in today, I will test him. I will jump on him. I will make him fight, and I'm going to find out if he has heart.
Well, did he say anything about low blows?
Well, you know, former middleweight contender Benny Briscoe just used to say it so right with his fist. He'd come out and sometimes he'd stray a shot right below the belt. And the opening bell, you'd be thinking about it the rest of the fight. This is not the amateurs.
All right, so things intensify here in the 3rd round. It is scheduled for 8. And it is Whitaker getting in the jab and coming back out. He's in and out against Hatfield. He knows Hatfield's style. And Hatfield looking for the night of his lifetime, of his career, in hopes of pulling off the upset here against Whitaker, the gold medal winner in the Olympics, and many feel the best fighter to come out of the 1984 team.
Both guys have to be careful because when they come together, their heads have been banging around. There's that pesky jab again, and a quick left hand of Whitaker drops Hatfield.
That left out of nowhere as Hatfield crumbles down to the knee. Al Pruitt, the referee, seeing if he's all right, and Hatfield says yes. 3rd round action, and now Hatfield looks to come in stronger on Whitaker. A bolt of lightning from Whitaker. Just sharp, coming from all angles. Hatfield sees the origination, but unable to defend against the lightning quick shots of Whitaker. See Whitaker move on that, fakes left and went right defensively, moving away.
Pernell standing flat-footed now, putting everything he's got into those punches.
And rubs it in a little bit by walking over Hatfield. He could have taken another route, but Whitaker is up to Hatfield's game. So Hatfield down twice here in the 3rd round. 3 knockdown rule is in effect here in Georgia. So one more time down for Hatfield, and it is a night. 20 seconds left. He is down. He is out. Game, set, match.
Hatfield is not impressed. He's walking around shaking his head. He doesn't like the hot dog antics of Pernell Whitaker.
And Hatfield, although he was down 3 times, although his face is a bloodied mess, wishes that this fight would continue. He goes into the 3rd round against Pernell Whitaker, the very exciting lightweight who has won his 6th consecutive fight as a professional and his 5th by knockout. Just 21 years old, out of Norfolk, Virginia, Pernell Whitaker. One of the most exciting fighters to come along in a long time.
And here's that first knockdown in that final round. A straight left hand from Mr. P. Pernell Whitaker puts Hatfield down. That was knockdown number 1. There were 2 more to follow.
What a crowd pleaser. Whitaker, out of Norfolk, comes in here to Atlanta, and he certainly has this crowd on his side. Picked them up very quickly as he dazzled them along with Teddy Hatfield with his speed.
And his speed accounted for another knockdown. After that left hand drop, Hatfield, there's an accumulation of blows, and one quick one dropped him, and look at the hot dog there stepping right over the top of Hatfield.
Whitaker started boxing at the age of 9, won 201 amateur fights against 13 defeats, 91 by knockout. And now at the age of 21, it is his 6th professional fight. He's had him inside a period of, 7-8 months. And here is the 3rd and final KO.
And it was just a quick knockdown, but it was the 3rd knockdown in the state of Georgia. 3 knockdowns in a round. It's over, and there it was. The quick hands one more time of Pernell Whitaker. Drop Hatfield. He was out for a second as you saw the feet turn right underneath him. The legs were gone, and he wasn't happy about it. He's proud. He felt he could have continued. Proud to beat the man, Teddy Cook in Hatfield.
How would you rate the speed of Pernell Whitaker? Who would you compare that to?
Only Camacho is faster.
And gentlemen, the 3 knockdown rule is in effect here tonight. So the winner by a knockout with 2 minutes, 42 seconds of the 3rd round, Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker.
The only boxer to win the Olympic gold by a knockout. Gave you example of his speed and his power here tonight. 3rd round knockout over Teddy Hatfield, and Pernell Whitaker now ups his professional record to 6-0 with 5 knockouts. And he will join Randy Gordon here at ringside when we return after this.
Last year, history's biggest run took place. The 5-mile Stroh's Run for Liberty. This year's run will be even bigger. It's in 127 cities, and it's sponsored by Stroh's, with support from the Plymouth division of Chrysler. Your entry fee will help restore the statue. And even if you walk, you'll get a medal cast from materials used to build her a century ago. Enter at participating Chrysler Plymouth dealers or wherever you buy Stroh's. Then join us for her sake.
USA Sports kicks off its live coverage of the 1985 college football season with a battle of Eastern powerhouses. The Penn State Nittany Lions tangle with last year's comeback kids, the Maryland Terrapins, in the first game of a hard-hitting schedule, featuring the premier teams in the nation and climaxing in 5 live bowl games. College Football 85, starting at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on USA tomorrow.
Pernell Whitaker impressively ups his professional record to 6-0 with a 3rd round knockout over Teddy Hatfield, his 5th knockout as a professional. And now Randy Gordon has Pernell Whitaker along with his co-manager Lou Duva at ringside.
Well, you've heard of the Michael Jackson Victory Tour. Well, for Pernell Whitaker, it's his Victory Tour. 3 months ago, he was in Corpus Christi, Texas. Then he moved on to Norfolk, Virginia, and now it's Atlanta, Georgia. Pernell Whitaker, there's just not enough mustard when you get in the ring.
Well, you know, I always try to put on a good show, and I train very hard for this fight, as do all of my fights. So, but this one was a special one because it's for Evander Holyfield's home fight, so I wanted to put on a great show.
You were hit with a low blow, and that seemed to enrage you. You went down. It was about right after the bell, I thought it was. And Lou, you were quite upset. Now, did that, in your mind, say, okay, Hatfield, you had it?
Well, he hit me up under the cup, and that, you know, kind of stunned me a little bit. So I just went down to take the 8 count, and you know I heard the bell ring, so I knew that I was going to get a minute rest. But when I came back to the corner, it just kept my composure and just go out and we trained to go 8 rounds, so I had quite a ways to go. I was just going to catch up with him either round.
Okay, now a few weeks ago, Hector Macho Camacho won a version of the World Lightweight Championship by beating a very tough Jose Luis Ramirez. After the fight, he was throwing out some heavy remarks. One of those I thought was a racial remark. He directed it basically at you. Do you feel any animosity towards him now because of that?
Well, Hector Camacho's a great fighter, and you know you have to give him his respect. But I'm coming up. I'm up and rising, and I can taste him, and I've been dreaming about him every day. And he's from the ghetto, so I was raised in the ghetto. So this is America, not Puerto Rico.
Okay, Captain Lou Duva, do you dream of a Camacho-Whitaker match? And if you do, when will it happen?
Listen, I guarantee you I'm going to try and get Ramirez, the former champ, who went the limit with him. And I guarantee you he will not go to limit with Pernell Whitaker. After that, we're ready to sign an all-time. It's just a matter of the route. Believe me, this guy can go 8, 10, 12 rounds. He does it in the gym with 2 or 3 fresh sparring partners. He wants nothing but Camacho. He's starting to bug me now, this guy over here. He wants Camacho. I want Camacho. We're ready. In 86, we want to fight Hector Camacho, and we'll knock him out cold. No, we won't stop him. We're going to knock him out cold.
Would you really...
Well, when me and Camacho fight, I figured it'll be a Hagler-Hearns fight. I'm going to come right at him, and I know he's going to be right there. So I know I punch very hard, and he can't take the body, so he better be doing a sit-up.
Okay, the Pernell Whitaker Roadshow, the Victory Tour, continues. He now ups his record to 6-0 with 5 knockouts. Let's go back to ringside and Al Albert.
And what a showman Pernell Whitaker is. He is as good as gold. Lightweight Pernell Whitaker, and up next...